Hello and welcome to Vollara Building Systems Orientation. Let's begin our orientation with an introduction to the history of Vollara Building Systems from President Rick Wiley.
Well, Vollara Building Systems was started back in 1947 as Butler Sheet Metal, founded by Del Butler, and all just around the sheet metal trade. And over the years, our product line has grown. In the early 2000s, we really started expanding and adding plumbing and solar and low voltage products, home theater, home alarm systems, distributed audio and video systems. Continue to expand, growing throughout Northern California, our headquarters in Sacramento, but branching into areas in the Bay Area like Milpitas, Cordelia, down into the valley in Manteca, and all the way down to Fresno. We just recently changed our name to Vollara Building Systems, and we're excited about that name change. It's just been a great journey over these last 68 years, and it's very gratifying to see thousands of people receive employment and support their families while taking great care of just hundreds of thousands of homes in the Northern California region.
Now let's get back to the future of Vollara Building Systems. Vollara Building Systems surpasses industry standards in HVAC, plumbing, solar, home automation, fire sprinklers, and fresh air ventilation systems. Thousands of homes enjoy the comfort of our products. They relax in our homes. They share moments while using our products. They rely on us. As a T24 compliance facilitator, Vollara helps California lead the nation in the reduction of carbon emissions, helping make a brighter future for everyone. It is our job to ensure that all of the different parties involved with Vollara Building Systems, from vendor to builder and ultimately the homeowner, are satisfied with their Vollara experience. Let's hear from the president of Vollara Building Systems speak about Vollara's vision guiding principles and what they mean to Vollara employees.
Our vision statement is building people, building trust, and that's really our primary focus and our goal, and we're excited about that approach. We want to help them find the perfect spot in our company that really aligns their skills and their abilities with a profitable, beneficial work area that they enjoy. One of my favorite expressions is, you find a job you really love and you'll never work a day of your life. That's our goal for every employee here at Vollara. Well, this was a customer that is also somebody I know fairly well, and they called. It's been the first few hot days of summer, and that's always a tremendous strain on all the infrastructure for air conditioning companies, is that first snap of 100-degree plus weather. And our technicians are overwhelmed. So customer calls, hey, my air conditioner's out. They happen to live near enough to me that I just really didn't, I wanted to take care of the customer, and at the same time I really felt for our team. I knew they were working from sunup to sundown, and I just didn't feel real comfortable. I'll call them saying, hey, here's one more call. So I went ahead and drove over, took a look at the customer's home, was able to see that it was a pretty simple electrical component. Somebody nearby me in the company actually had one of those components, was able to run it over, and we was able to change it out very quickly. So just it's our commitment to our customers, and we try to work as a team.
Before we talk about critical business outcomes, we need to cover Vollara's vision guiding principles and how they relate to you. Now let's quickly cover each of these vision guiding principles to become a little more familiar with them. The 7 core guiding principles are honesty and integrity, a core value in life, but it is particularly important here at Vollara Building Systems. This is the foundation upon which your career with Vollara sits. Quality and value. By instilling quality and value in the work that you do, you create a product on par with Vollara Building Systems' high level of craftsmanship. Win-win relationship. We want you to get as much from us as you give, creating a win-win relationship for Vollara Building Systems, the customer, and you. Leadership. You may not feel like a leader yet. Positive workplace. By facilitating a positive workplace, Vollara Building Systems becomes a place where everyone feels valued for being a piece of the Vollara puzzle, as well as what they bring to it. Personal responsibility. By creating a workplace where personal responsibility is a key component, focus is taken from placing blame and given to correcting the problem. Open communication. A cold fact of life is that most problems arise due to miscommunication or lack of communication altogether. Again, the idea is the earlier we find out about a mistake, the more time we can spend on correcting the problem and less time placing blame. Now that you are familiar with each of Vollara's vision guiding principles and how they relate to you, let's talk about how they relate to the critical business outcomes these principles are designed to foster. But first, what is a critical business outcome? Critical business outcomes are positive outcomes we hope to foster by instilling Vollara's vision guiding principles as the beginning point for everything you do here at Vollara Building Systems. As a new employee at Vollara Building Systems, our Human Resources Department has already noticed our 7 core guiding principles in you. Now all you have to do is let them shine. We believe by empowering all of our employees to put these 7 core values to use, we effectively turn all of our employees into critical outcome managers. By using the 7 core guiding principles as your foundation and the following 4 execution principles of safety first, quality always, deadline driven, and cost effectiveness as your compass, we will achieve customer delight every time. At Vollara, we understand the need to grow as an individual and professionally. This is why Vollara Building Systems feels career development is important in helping our employees succeed. The core of Vollara's career development program is to train and promote from within. After all, who better to promote than the employee who has already demonstrated loyalty, ability, and untapped skill sets? Most importantly, we want to help you succeed by transitioning from a job with Vollara to a lifelong career with Vollara Building Systems. This stems from a belief that your career development is your responsibility. However, it can become much easier when you have someone in your corner to support and encourage your growth. Vollara wants to be your someone. Lastly, on the topic of career development, we would like to say this. Career development takes time and patience, and a consideration of these next 3 points. I clearly know my skill sets and capabilities. I know what skills and capabilities I need now and in the future. I know what gaps exist between what I can do now and what I need to be able to do in the future.
I started here in our manufacturing department, where I learned how to build our smart vent diversion dampers, along with our motorized barrel dampers, and our ZTE plenum boxes. And then I moved over here to our downspout area, where I learned how to cut, solder, and make our downspouts ready for install for our heat installers in the field. Charles, hey, what's up? How you doing? Good. All right, so then I moved over here to our tri-fab area, where I learned how to cut the duct to size and bag them up and ready for install for heat installers. And then I was promoted to our quality assurance team, where I was one of the first quality inspectors on the grounds in here. This is our retro department, where I learned how to replace furnaces and ACs in older buildings and apartment complexes. Let's take a look. Hey guys. Hey Charles. What's going on? Oh, not much. Just showing the guys about where I worked at in our retro division. All right. I miss you. Vollara, building people, building trust, where the opportunities are endless.
For this portion, Mary Bernard, your point of contact for human resources, will assist in the narration. Let's talk about cash, cold, hard cash.
More than 50% of our new hires come from employee referrals. Who better to recommend the hires for our growing workplace than the people who are currently working in those roles? You can refer your friends, family members, and recent high school graduates, or anyone you know that will make a great addition to our Vollara team. Remember, the people you refer should fit our critical business outcomes. These employees must be employed for 90 days in order for you to qualify for the referral award bonus. The bonus amounts vary by the level of difficulty and experience needed to fill that position. If you work in the office, you will receive a weekly list electronically of the positions we are currently hiring for. If you work in the field or plant, you will receive this list with your paycheck. Please open your paychecks. We use them as a way to communicate important information with our employees.
To encourage referrals, we provide $100 for an employee you refer to the company who remains employed for 90 days or longer. There's no referral limit, so send in as many qualified candidates as you can. As a new Vollara employee, it is our responsibility to make sure you are up to speed on the programs, policies, and rules of your new workplace. You have also been issued a lot of paperwork all at once. However, topics like Vollara's drug and alcohol policy need to be read in depth and remembered. This is precisely the reason for Vollara's onboarding process, a comprehensive list of topics required to be read, completed, and signed. For this reason, it is important that you pay attention to the following specifics on the benefits offered to you now that you are a member of the Vollara Building Systems team.
Vollara is an equal opportunity employer. We hire employees without regard to race, color, religion, sex, marital status, veteran status, or any other consideration made unlawful by applicable discrimination laws. This policy applies to all areas of employment and all other conditions and privileges of employment in accordance with applicable federal, state, and local laws. Vollara is an equal opportunity employer and strictly prohibits unlawful discrimination by any employee, including managers, supervisors, and co-workers.
We do not tolerate any form of harassment. There are various forms of harassment: physical, sexual, visual, and verbal. If you feel that you are being harassed, please contact the Human Resources Department immediately. Attendance is a very important part of your employment with the company. As a new hire, you want to make sure that you are at work every day and on time. You must call in to your supervisor and let them know. If you are absent, you need to call your supervisor every day that you will not be in to work. 2 consecutive days of not hearing from you is considered job abandonment, which means that you have voluntarily quit your position. To avoid this, get your supervisor's number on your first day of work. Remember, you must call your supervisor, not the main receptionist, not your coworker, and not human resources. If your supervisor does not answer, leave them a detailed message. 3 occurrences within a 6-month period is considered excessive, and consequences including write-ups may lead to a review of your continued employment.
If you work out in the field or plant, you will receive paper time cards on your first day. You will complete a paper time card for every day that you work. If you work in the office or in a service position, you will complete your time card electronically, where you can save it daily. You must turn in your time cards when they are due. We are a drug-free employer and do not tolerate the use of drugs or any alcohol by our employees during their scheduled working hours. We take the safety of our employees very seriously. That is why we conduct pre-employment, random, reasonable suspicion, and post-accident drug tests. We are paid on a weekly basis, every Friday. Your supervisor will provide notice to you if they need you to work overtime. Overtime must be approved by your supervisor or manager. We do offer paid holidays and paid time off. If you know that you have a scheduled vacation or will need time off in the future, please complete a PTO request form and provide it to your supervisor in advance. There is a form you will need to complete and submit to your supervisor for approval.
All the information completed on this form is used to enter you into our HRIS system. That means that you should write your legal name. We understand that phone numbers, addresses, and emergency contact information can change. Please notify HR of those changes so we can update your information in our system. Please review what you have completed and make sure that every field has been completed to include apartment numbers, email addresses, and all of the requested information.
This form is referred to as the I-9 form and establishes your eligibility to work in the United States. You will need to complete this form with no errors and mark the correct box as it relates to your legal status. Some boxes require additional information to be filled in order for this form to be complete. You will need to provide either a List A document or a List B and C document to confirm your employment eligibility. The documents provided for this form can't be expired and must be presented within 3 days of your start date.
This form is used to determine the amount of taxes taken out of your check. Please review the information and make sure that you have completed all the fields. If your marital or dependent status changes, you may update this form at any time during the year. You can get this form from the Human Resources Office. Around the beginning of each year, the payroll department will mail a new form to capture any changes. If you are not making changes, you will not need to update this form.
It can take about 2 to 3 weeks for your direct deposit to go through. You can have your check directly deposited into 3 different accounts. Please review this form for accuracy. You will also need to provide a voided check or statement from your banking institution that has your routing and account number in order for your direct deposit to be processed. We are unable to accept deposit slips.
Employees that work or enter the warehouse, manufacturing, or maintenance departments will have ID badges issued to them to access those departments. The first badge will be free of charge, but if a replacement is needed, you will be charged. You may be privy to certain confidential business matters and affairs of the company regarding its business practices, customers, suppliers, employees, and our trade secrets and other proprietary information relating to the business of the company, generally known to the public or competitors. You shall not, either during your employment with the company or any time in the future, directly or indirectly, disclose or furnish, directly or indirectly, to any other person, firm, agency, company, client, associations, organizations, business, or enterprise, any confidential information acquired.
The company will provide tools to employees that are making less than twice the minimum wage rate. All employees making over twice the minimum wage will provide their own tools. If for some reason your employment within the company ends, you will be required to return your issued tools. If you do not return all of the tools that were issued to you, you will be invoiced accordingly and need to pay the remaining balance within 30 days of termination.
If you are injured while at work, you must notify your lead or supervisor immediately, but no later than 24 hours of the incident.
A risk management representative
from our risk safety department will contact you if you are injured on the job. If you are injured while at work, you must notify your lead or supervisor immediately, but no later than 24 hours after the incident. Someone from our risk safety department will contact you if you are injured on the job.
To resolve employment disputes in an efficient, cost-effective manner, you and Velara agree to handle any claims by arbitration. Some positions within Velara require an EPA certification. This certification is for individuals that have been trained in the proper handling of Freon. If you are licensed by the Environmental Protection Agency, you will need to complete the top half of this form. We will also need to make a copy of your card. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you will need to complete the bottom half of the form, stating you are not EPA certified.
The initialing and signing of this form acknowledges the use of all email and voicemail is strictly for business purposes and is the property of Velara. Any personal use should be limited to breaks and lunch periods. You are also agreeing to use these electronic communication systems with your authorized profile. Your user information is confidential. Please do not share this information with anyone.
This form authorizes the company to receive your driver record report for employees who drive company vehicles or receive mileage reimbursements for using their personal vehicles. In order to ensure that our employees are compliant with DMV regulations, their license will be run at least once every 12 months or when any driving activity occurs.
Employees hired with Sacramento County may qualify for a hiring assistance program. This is based on if you have been laid off or are a veteran. A representative of the North State Building Industry Foundation will contact you to determine if you qualify for the program. If you qualify, the company will be reimbursed for a portion of your on-the-job training.
Depending on certain target groups, you may or may not qualify for the company for tax credits. Please review each question in regards to the specific target groups listed. If you do not qualify for a category, our HR department will be in contact with you if any additional document is needed to be received to complete this process.
Certain tax credit information requires additional information that is provided by the Employment Development Department. If you can't provide those documents, we can request them from the EDD. This form allows us to request that information. Now let's talk about the benefits you'll receive as a member of the Vollara team. The company has an employee assistance program to assist with some of the hardships that life deals us. If you need a referral to file bankruptcy or credit consolidation, our HR department can provide you with the phone number to our EAP provider. Whatever you discuss with them is totally confidential. Please call HR at 916-646-2260 if you need more information on this benefit. Through the different benefit packages, you will be offered the following benefits:
medical,
vision, dental, health savings accounts, group term life insurance, voluntary term life insurance, flex spending accounts, accident insurance, as well as employee assistance program. You become eligible for coverage on the first of the month following your first 30 days of employment. Pricing varies depending upon the health insurance provider you choose. This is where you come in. It is up to you to review and choose the plan that is best for you. Enrollment forms need to be turned in to HR 2 weeks before your insurance's effective date to help you avoid paying for insurance you can't use yet. If you do not follow this rule, you will be required to pay for insurance you can't use, also known as arrears. Please contact Volara's Human Resources Department if you have any questions. Since we are paid weekly, monthly deductions will be spaced out across 4 weekly checks. Regardless of enrollment or declining to enroll, you are required to turn in this paperwork. This form provides a brief description of the medical coverage offered by our company. There is information provided on this form that you will need if you decide to look into medical coverage or the Affordable Care Act. As of January 1st, 2014, you are mandated to maintain health insurance or face a tax penalty if you are not insured for a period longer than 3 months. Under ACA regulations, Volara's base benefit plans meet the legal requirements of affordability and minimal essential coverage for employee-only coverage. If you enroll in any of these programs, you are safe from penalty. In closing, if you have any further questions, please let us know. Please call HR at 916-646-2260. And as the newest member of the Vollara team, welcome.